This chicken Alak recipe is rich and creamy and good. If you have leftover chicken, this is a great go-to recipe and you can serve it with just about anything. In my pan on medium heat, I have 1 stick or a half a cup of butter and 1 cup each of diced onions and bell peppers, cooking and stirring for a couple minutes. This is 1 8-ounce package of sliced mushrooms, cooking and stirring for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the mushrooms cook down. Leave a little liquid and fat on the bottom of the pan. Adding in 2 cloves of minced garlic and about 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper. You can taste and season along the way. Cooking and stirring for about 30 seconds, and then I'm adding in a half a cup of flour. Cooking and stirring for a minute or two, or until the flour is absorbed. Pouring in 2 cups of homemade chicken broth. If you're using a boxed or canned broth, just be careful of the sodium content. Turning my heat up to bring this up to a simmer. Stirring and scraping the bottom of the pan. I'm also adding in 1½ cups of milk. To boost the flavor a little, I'm adding in a teaspoon of better than bouillon chicken. A sprinkle more of black pepper and giving that a stir. Bringing this up to a low simmer and cooking for 3 to 5 minutes or until the sauce slightly thickens. What makes chicken Alak so creamy and silky good is this. We are going to temper these 2 rich egg yolks into the sauce, and they will take this chicken Alak to another level good. I turn my sauce down to low. In a bowl, I'm whisking 2 egg yolks and a 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Now I'm slowly pouring in about 1/4 cup of the hot mixture into the egg cream mixture while I whisk vigorously. You want to continuously stir so you even out the temperature and you don't cook the eggs. Stir for about 10 seconds, and we are immediately going to pour this mixture back into the saucepan, again whisking continuously. You don't want the eggs to cook. You want a nice, smooth, silky, creamy sauce. Once incorporated, turn the heat up to a low medium and cook for a couple minutes. Now 2 of the classic ingredients in chicken Alak: 1 cup of frozen peas and 1 cup of drained chopped pimentos. Giving that a good stir and bringing up to a low simmer. Adding in 4 cups of diced cooked rotisserie chicken. Another good stir and cook for a couple minutes or until the chicken is heated through. If the consistency is too thick, you can thin out with a little broth. Make sure you taste for any seasonings, and it is ready to eat. Tonight I'm serving over some spaghetti squash and buttermilk biscuits. You can also serve over rice, pasta, potatoes, or toast. It really doesn't matter. The chicken Alak is so good. I hope you give this classic chicken Alak recipe a try and enjoy. Cream chipped beef is rich and a definite comfort meal. I have about 8 ounces of dried chipped beef, and you can see it is in very thin, flaky pieces. Chipped beef has been salted and dried. I cut the dried beef into about 1/2 to 3/4 inch pieces, and you will see it'll just fall apart. I'm starting by making the sauce. And by the way, you'll be able to find this recipe, the list of ingredients, and much more in the Show More section below. If you have a chance, please check it out. In a pan on medium heat, I'm adding in some butter and equal parts flour. Just stirring together and letting that cook for a minute or two. I'm making a roux, and this will be the thickener for the sauce. You want to cook the flour for a minute to eliminate that raw flour taste. Now I'm slowly pouring in the milk. Turning my heat up to medium-high, stirring, and you will see the sauce start to thicken as it heats up. I'm also adding in some Worcestershire sauce. I'm not adding any salt as the dried beef is really salty. You can also add some black pepper if you wish. Keep stirring and the sauce will become smooth and thick. In goes the dried chipped beef and stirring to combine. You just want to heat the beef through. You can see the consistency is thick, so I'm adding in a little milk to thin it out. And you can make this the consistency that you like. And if you have any leftovers, you can easily reheat by adding a little milk. That looks good there, and we are ready to eat. Yes, that's simple. Today I'm serving over toast, but you can also serve over biscuits, waffles, noodles, or potatoes. This cream chipped beef is an old-time dish that was frequently served in the military. We had it quite often when I was little. It is more commonly known as SOS or shit on a shingle. It is a meat in a sauce served over toast. This cream chipped beef is rich, creamy, and comforting. I hope you give this cream chipped beef a try and enjoy. Tonight I'm making a delicious classic comfort food dinner. I'm making Salsberry steaks with a fabulous rich mushroom gravy and a side of mashed potatoes and peas. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground chuck. I'm adding in 1 egg, half a cup of plain breadcrumbs, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, salt to your taste, 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, giving everything a good thorough mix. As you can see, this is just like making meatloaf or meatballs. This recipe makes 4 nice-sized patties, and you can shape them any way you like. I like to make them fairly thick. In my skillet on medium-high heat, I'm browning off the patties, and this will take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. I want the patties to form a nice crust and leave some flavor on the bottom of the pan. Once this is done, I'm removing the patties from the pan and turning my heat down to a medium. I have 1 large diced onion and 1 pound of sliced mushrooms. These will cook down and release some liquids, which will help deglaze the pan. Cooking and stirring for 5 to 7 minutes. Here I'm adding 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, cooking and stirring for another minute. This is 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm letting that melt, and then I'm adding in 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We are making a roux to help thicken the gravy. Cooking and stirring for about a minute or 2, or until all the flour is absorbed. This is 3 cups of beef broth, and I'm adding a little at a time. Turning my heat up to bring this up to a simmer. I'm stirring constantly and scraping the bottom to get all that flavor. Give it a taste for any additional salt. I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and a sprinkle more of black pepper. Giving that a good stir and then placing my steaks back into the pan and making sure that they are covered with that wonderful gravy we just made. Bringing this up to a low simmer, partially covering, and cooking for 45 minutes. You will want to baste the steaks about 4 times during the cooking process and turn them about halfway. As the steaks cook, the gravy will reduce and thicken. I don't have to tell you how good this smells and tastes. If you're looking for a true classic comfort food, look no further. These Salsberry steaks are packed with flavor and melt in your mouth tender. The rich, thick mushroom gravy just takes this meal right into another dimension. Serving tonight with a side of mashed potatoes and peas. I hope you give this classic Salsberry steak recipe a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!